Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Letitia Iona. I'm a faith-based women's life coach, and I teach women how to thrive, not just survive, in the midst of life's challenges. So today, my topic is a little different than what I usually talk about. I started the 30 Days of Kindness Challenge. I have been taking a life coaching certification. I've been just pursuing some online courses to beef up my life coaching business. And so I found this course called Human Flourishing through Light University, which I believe is an online school, and it has been outstanding. And it's a 24-hour class. I've done Human Flourishing 101, which was 12 hours of videos and quizzes and taking notes. So I've completed that one. And within the class, there are individual classes, individual topics that relate to human flourishing. And if you've not heard of that before, which I had not, it's just on the premise of six domains that lead to just thriving in life, like your finances, helping out in the community, different things like that. And so this course breaks down those six domains. And so this first part I got to was on 30 Days of Kindness Challenge. And the author of the book actually taught the class. It was 2 parts. And as I began to learn about this topic or this particular challenge is the right word. I don't want to say project, but particular challenge, I was convicted. I was convicted on how kind I think I am. And one of the premises of the class is that most people think that they're very kind. And come to find out, you may not be as kind as you think you are. There's a list of 7 things that if you ever experience them or feel these things, you're not being kind. And I still haven't found that list, but I know one of them is exasperated. And I can tell you, I get very exasperated in my life. I work with children. I have a teenage daughter, just driving on the road. Any of those moments means that I'm not being kind in those moments. And so when I first decided I need to take on this challenge, I thought of a child at my school who gives me a really hard time. And maybe I shouldn't say he gives me a hard time. We struggle to connect. And oftentimes this child is difficult in music class. And so I thought this would be the perfect thing to do. Well, then we went into fall break and I wasn't going to see this child for a week. And so my first choice was my daughter. I have a 15-year-old daughter, sophomore in high school, and life can be challenging, as I'm sure you know, having a high school daughter. And so I decided I'm gonna 30 days of kindness towards my daughter. And what the challenge is that you choose one person. It could be your spouse, it could be your child, it could be a friend, a coworker, a boss, anybody that maybe you have a challenging relationship with. And there's 3 things that you do for 30 days. One of those is that you cannot speak negatively to them. You can't have a negative tone towards them. You can't speak negatively, basically behind their back. I don't know about you, but when something is frustrating, I want to vent about it. I want to tell my best friend, hey, I've been having this really hard time. You wouldn't believe what happened today. I can't believe she said this to me. And then we talked about that. Like, you can't do any of that. No negative tone, no negative words towards them or about. Number 2, you're supposed to, and this may not be the correct order, but the second thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do an act of kindness to this person every day. And as well, lastly, you are to say kind things to them and about them. So fall break rolls around and, I go to school intending on starting this 30 days of kindness with this particular child. And I realized this isn't going to work because I'm not going to see this child for another week. So I'm like, okay. I remember I talked to my mom about it. I may have talked to my best friend about it. And so that Friday, I decided I was going to do my 30 Days of Kindness challenge towards my daughter. And I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. I didn't expect any specific change from her. I knew that it would do something for me. I just didn't know what that would be. I didn't know what that would look like. When you're going into a 30 days of kindness towards your child, it seems kind of, well, I'm always kind to my children because I love them and I provide for them and I do everything for them. Like, isn't that kindness? I'm going to tell you that I discovered that I have not been nearly as kind as I thought I was being. See, I'm the kind of mom who will say no just because I can. I'll say no just because I don't want her to be spoiled. I don't want her to feel entitled, as if her generation doesn't already like come out of the womb like that. But I'm just like, no, I don't need to say yes to everything. I can say no. Now, if you go to daysofkindnesschallenge.com, I believe that's what it's called. Join thekindnesschallenge.com. If you go there, there is an assessment. And it just asks you specific questions about what you're doing. Let me see if I can find. So it's a self-assessment action plan. And it talks about nick the negatives. So it starts with the before. What am I already doing well? What do I most need to work on? What specific short-term action step am I going to take to improve? Then the before. What am I already doing? What do I most need to work on? The same question. So you have the before and after, and then carry out your kindness, practice praise, and then carry out the kindness. So everything that I mentioned, the three things, it breaks it all down for you. And you essentially come up with a plan of how you're going to do this 30 days of kindness. So one of my things, just like I just shared, I'm the mama who will just say no, just because I can. I decided one of my new goals was to say yes more often. And wow, what a difference it has made. Teenagers, at least my teenager today, are expensive. It's not just, hey, I want to have a slumber party and I want to have a few girls over. Can you order pizza? Can we go to the store and get snacks? Like, okay, I want to try this particular sport. And then, 2 weeks later, decide I don't want to do it anymore, but you've already bought me shoes. You bought me 2 pairs of shoes and you bought me workout clothes to do this sport. I'm going to a friend's house for the weekend. Can you send me money because we're going to go to the mall and we're going to go out to eat and we're going to go to the movies? Or, hey mom, I really need this particular facial care product. This is the only one that works for me. Or I need new lotion, or I need deodorant, or I need this particular product, or I've tried this one, but now I want to try so many things. And then there's, getting her retwist because she has locks every 6 to 8 weeks. That's $90 every time. Just so many things. Just so many things. And so I really thought, I can't possibly say yes to everything. I don't think I can afford everything. But I started saying yes. Purposefully, very intentionally, just say yes. And what I discovered is that this challenge has transformed our relationship. We have so much more fun together. We have this love recycling fest going on. So much more warmth and playfulness between us. Love is just going back and forth. In fact, people have commented, when they're in our presence, they have commented that we seem like we're sisters, not mother and daughter, which I know I look a lot younger than you would think I am, but it's just that warm playfulness that we have. A lot of things that I have been telling my daughter, like self-care, being responsible, your chores, you know, speaking up for yourself. If you don't think this grade is right, or you don't think this action from your teacher or whoever is right, speak up for yourself. Taking care of, like I said, your responsibilities, your room, cleaning the kitchen, all these different things. And then, like, those moments when I am telling you, you need to take out the trash, you need to do the dishes, like not doing it with an attitude, knowing that that's your responsibility, like not being entitled and thinking I should do all these things for you. So, perfect example. This weekend, my daughter she invited a couple of friends. Only one girl came, but we had just gotten back from being out of town, and so we needed food. So we go to the grocery store. I'm getting, the essentials, and she wants to get snacks for her party. And so I tell her, you can get two. Now, she already had a couple in the basket already, so it really ended up being like 4 or 5, but that was the boundary. You can choose two. So she brings me this pack of Halloween Oreos, and immediately I just said, no. I said, we're not bringing anything evil into our house. Meaning these Halloween cookies had a graveyard on it and a werewolf and just creepy stuff. And I'm just not a big Halloween person, and I'm very protective of what I allow in our home. And so when I told her no, she was not happy. She was very irritated. She got into a little bit of an attitude and was kind of like, Mom, you're doing too much. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And so with her response in the past, I would have been like, you know what? I'm buying all this stuff for you, and I'm letting you have a friend over. I'm even picking her up. Like, what do you mean? If I say no, then it's no. And I've been very much pushing, like, if I say no, you just accept it. If you don't like it, okay, but this is how it's going to be. Well, she pushed a little, but instead of shutting it all down, like, you know what, you're just not going to have a friend over. You can put all the snacks back, and I'm going to check out, and you could figure it out yourself. Instead, I kind of laughed off her irritation with me, and I said, come on, let's go down the cookie aisle. Let's go and look what else. Let's see what else that they have. So we go there, and there's a gazillion different kinds of Oreos. What about these? What about these? Ooh, you should try the. And she's still just like, you're doing too much, Mom. It's not that big a deal. And I just kept on. Part of the challenge, like when I did the assessment, was don't argue with her. Say what you mean what you say, and that's it. There's not going to be this round and round discussion about it. And so I just kept moving forward, like, let's get a different kind of Oreo. And I kid you not, she finally just said, okay, we'll get these. And she was still a little perturbed, but that was it. And I'm telling you, that is not how things usually go. Not even close. Like, I would have been embarrassed in the store. Like, why are you acting like this? But it didn't go that way. I would say the biggest thing has been my heart towards her as a hormonal, difficult, sometimes stressful teenager has completely softened. My heart towards her has softened. And the things that I want from her, expect from her, have been teaching her, she's doing them because her heart is soft towards me. So I was sharing this with one of my voice students who's a friend of mine who is a therapist, family therapist, I think. And she said, teenagers, children, they long for connection. And the truth is, we all are hardwired for connection. And oftentimes when we don't get what we need, we find it in, like, we try to get connection in unhealthy ways. But she said the whole Halloween Oreo thing in the grocery store, she said, I refocused her and I reframed the whole situation. And I didn't disconnect from her. I didn't say, you know what? With that attitude, we're not getting anything. You can't have your friend over, and I'm checking out. You can meet me at the car. I didn't disconnect from her. I just went with her to the aisle, and I stayed in it with her, and we worked it out. It's just been glorious. She has done kind things for me that I so deeply appreciate. And not just deeply appreciate, I'm like, you didn't have to do that. Whereas before, I was like, well, you should do that. I'm your mom and I love you and I do everything for me. You could do this one little thing for me. No, I don't even expect her to do those things. Do I think it's good for her to do things, unselfishly, yeah. But now I'm just like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that. That was so kind." I mean, she's cleaned the kitchen up after me, and she didn't even eat any of the food that I made. She's never really done that before, much less clean up after herself. But I cooked for her and her friend, and I came upstairs to eat, and then I was going to come back and clean the kitchen. I didn't expect her to do it. She cleaned that kitchen. So, the other part of this, I've been in my menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause season. In fact, I was about to hit 2 years postmenopause next month, November. And all of a sudden, my cycle came back. Now, I'm going to discuss that in a whole nother video. But when I was in that post-menopause season, I kept thinking, what are women doing? Women are leaving this cycle of life that they've been in, for 30, 40 years or more. But their daughters are either entering that stage or they've been in that stage and they're going through that stage. And we know that when you're going through menopause, like your body is changing, your emotions, your hormones are off, your emotions are off the chart, you're having hot flashes and brain fog and forgetfulness and your joints hurt, like we all know. But then you have this sweet child of yours who is essentially going through the same thing, minus the hot flashes and night sweats and all of those things, but their emotions are out of whack. Their hormones are off the charts. And so I remember I started researching, just looking online. What are women doing going through the season? Well, I went back. My cycle came back just a couple months ago, and things have definitely changed because now I feel like I'm at her stage all of a sudden, where I was like pretty much out the door. And so I started thinking, what are women doing to deal with the high hormones and emotions that are going on when you're going through your own cycle of life that's ending? And I have found an answer. I have found an answer. It is 30 Days of Kindness Challenge, because I don't think me and my daughter have ever enjoyed each other. Maybe when she was little. But even then, she's a little girl and I'm a grown woman. Well, now she's still young, but we can have conversations and we can hang out and we can go shopping together. Like, there's just so much more we can do, so much more we can talk about. And she's going through all kinds of beautiful changes in her life, and I get to be a part of it. But I get to be part of it in a different way now. It's so much more enjoyable being with her. I look forward to coming home every day after work to see her. I look forward to talking to her and hanging out with her. If we're both like busy after work, I feel bad. I'm like, I'm sorry we didn't get to hang out. I have not been like that. Most of the time, I'm like, I'm going to do my thing over here. You do your thing over there. And we're just going to get through this season of our life. And one day we'll be best friends. I think I just made a video or just said, we are not friends. I am your mother. We are not friends. But I don't feel that way anymore. I'm still her mother. And granted, I still tell her no. I mean, she just dropped a big thing on me just a couple nights ago, and we had to talk through it. And I had to tell her exactly what I thought, but I waited. I waited until I could talk to her with kindness and not anger and not full disappointment. And I told her exactly what I thought about the situation and how I didn't think that she was ready. And I know it was disappointing to her, but I'm still her mother and I still have to make decisions for her life. But now I'm giving her a little bit more freedom to make her choices, and whatever good or bad consequences that come from that, they will be hers. So this is a little bit of a different video. There is going to be a part 2. So make sure you check that out. And it's on when like a 30-day kindness challenge doesn't work. When it's not even good for you and it's not going to make any difference. Um, I wanted to just share this experience because it has been relationally between me and my daughter transforming. And I would encourage you to go to jointhekindnesschallenge.com and try it out. I mean, maybe you want to do it for your spouse. Maybe you just don't like them. Maybe you guys don't like each other. Maybe you're just going through a really rough patch in your relationship. Maybe you're struggling with one of your teenage sons or daughters. Maybe you're struggling with a child, one of your children. Maybe you're struggling with your boss or a coworker that you work really close to. I promise you, you will see a tremendous change because I didn't think that I would get to this stage with my daughter now. I thought it'd be like years later, like she's on her own, maybe married with kids, and somehow this friendship comes, but it has come way sooner. And God has really used this challenge to change me, to change my heart. And the result or reflection of that has been in my daughter's behavior. And I feel like she's happier. I feel like she's less stressed in her life. I feel like she's talking to me more. And I mean, we talk about a lot of things, but a lot of times our conversations end with like irritation, and now it's not like that. So, if this video resonated with you, if this video kind of sparked your interest to this 30 days of challenge, if you are going through perimenopause or menopause and you are struggling in a relationship like with your daughter who has the same ups and downs every month as you do, I would try this. I would absolutely try it. I know it will transform you and it'll transform your relationship. If you like this video, hit that like button. Stop playing, y'all. Stop watching the videos, hanging out with me. It's like we're shacking up. Make a commitment. Become a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button so you will see a video every single week. And I'll see you next time.